What is going on, you guys? This is Gaming with Sal coming back at y'all with another video today, and in this one we're going to be talking about how an old fan favorite Call of Duty might actually be getting remastered sometime soon and even released in the near future. Now, before we get into that topic, if you guys haven't seen it already, please go ahead and check out my last video where I discuss how Call of Duty World War II is actually going to be receiving some changes to the score streaks and how some of them can possibly even be receiving a buff. In that video, I specifically talk about which score streaks I wish would receive a buff and how they would receive that buff. So if you guys are interested in that topic, please go ahead and check out that video. I would really appreciate it if you guys left some likes, some comments, some feedback. It would really mean a lot to me. Anyways, when it comes to the idea of Modern Warfare 2 getting remastered, the news honestly excites me. Now, let me make it clear that we don't have any confirmation from Activision nor Infinity Ward that we're actually going to be receiving Modern Warfare 2 remastered. So basically this video is going to be just speculations and kind of another fun video where I would talk about if the game did get remastered, how would it exactly get remastered? And that basically leads into the main question that I wanted to focus on within this video. And that question is, will Modern Warfare 2 Remastered stay the same in comparison to its original game, or will it actually receive some changes? Now, if I were to bet on it, I think that the game will actually receive some changes. The reason why I think this is because if you go ahead and look at Modern Warfare 1 Remastered, which is the game that came alongside Infinite Warfare last year, it started off being just like its original game, except maybe it had a few cosmetic changes here and there, but as time went on, the game actually received a couple of updates that added more content to it and in a way changed it from its original state. And the way this new content was added was actually through the use of supply drops. So yes, they even actually added supply drops within a game that was supposed to be remastered and kept to its original state. Some fans actually took this change in a positive way, saying that it adds more content to the game and it basically gives a new start to the people who have been playing Modern Warfare for all these past years and get to experience the game in a new way. And at the same time, there were also players who completely became enraged of this and just wanted the game to be just like how it was originally when it first came out all those years ago. Now, if they do the same thing to Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, is this technically going to be a good thing or a bad thing? In my opinion, I honestly don't know. And the reason why I say that is because I'm basically on both sides. It will actually be a good thing because just like when Modern Warfare Remastered, I agree with those players who said, that it would add a new fresh start to the game. That we would be able to play Modern Warfare 2 the way it was originally played back in 2009, but at the same time we get to use more weapons, maybe more different things that we didn't have originally, and will actually make us feel like we're playing the game all over again and not get tired of the same repeated things that we've already gone through. At the same time, it can also be a bad thing because when I talked about them bringing changes to Modern Warfare 2 Remastered in comparison to the original game, I wasn't just talking about maybe updates or maybe adding more content, but I was also talking about fixing some of the issues that were within the original game. For those of you who never played Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, as fun as it really was, it did have its issues. Some of those issues included the use of grenade launchers with the one-man army perk, Danger Close, Commando Pro, boosting within free-for-all, and there are probably even more problems within that game that I just can't think of right now. But that game did need an update to fix some of these problems that it never really received. So will they actually be applying those fixes to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remastered instead? Now, let's go ahead and say that they do. Is that going to change the game drastically to the point where it doesn't feel like Modern Warfare 2 anymore? Or will it actually make it more enjoyable and less annoying due to the fact that we then won't have to face any more of these issues? You could argue that the game itself would become more fair and that it would become more balanced, but at the same time, will it take the chaoticness and the fun away from the game? Because it sounds weird, but even though these issues could have been annoying, the chaoticness of it actually added to the fun factor when it came to Modern Warfare 2. So like I said, will the original players who played the game back when it first came out like these changes, or will they actually say, no, you know what, I want to keep it the same? Even though there were big problems, that's what made Modern Warfare 2 Modern Warfare 2, so I don't want you guys touching any of it. Just simply remaster the game, don't make any changes, and that's all I want. So I'm actually curious, guys, for those of you who did play Modern Warfare 2, would you guys actually want them to fix some of the issues that were within that game, or would you like to keep it the same? I'm really interested to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Me personally, it's sort of a love-hate relationship. A part of me does get annoyed with some of these issues to the point where I do wish that they would make these fixes. But at the same time, once they start making these fixes, they'll also start making fixes to maybe some of the weapon balancing, to maybe some of the perk balancing, and who knows, if they continue to keep balancing out the game like this, it actually won't feel like Modern Warfare 2 anymore. Because, like I said, the chaoticness is a part of what made Modern Warfare 2 so iconic. At the end of the day, one thing is for sure, that when it came to the basic idea of Modern Warfare 2, the kill streaks, the guns, the perks, all that good stuff, it's going to stay the same. That we can say for sure. Because go ahead and take a look at Modern Warfare 1 Remastered. They brought the same weapons back, they brought the same perks back, they brought the same 3 kill streaks back that were in the game originally. So it's safe to say that they're going to do the same thing with Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. But once again, guys, these are just speculations that I'm putting together off the top of my head after thinking about maybe if Modern Warfare 2 Remastered would actually come to life. But I really do hope that they actually go ahead and go through with this plan, because one, I'm telling you guys, this game was so iconic. I talked about this many times before in my past videos of how Modern Warfare 2 has to be by far one of the most amazing Call of Duty games in my opinion, and it's mostly because of just the fun that you had within that game. The kill streaks were amazing, the guns were fun to use, the maps were amazing to play on. We really need that back, and we really need to give these new players who have joined Call of Duty recently a taste of what it used to be like in the past. Just the overall feeling that that game gave you was unexplainable. The moment that game loaded up and you heard that iconic music and you saw your favorite characters on screen, you knew that you were going to be playing that game for hours upon hours. Nowadays, I'm not going to lie, even though I do somewhat enjoy Call of Duty World War II, I could never put as much time into that game like I did with Modern Warfare 2. And I can confidently say that for those of you who did join Call of Duty recently, you know, when it came to like maybe some of the games that came out a few years ago, such as Infinite Warfare or World War II, once you play Modern Warfare 2, you'll actually realize what some of us YouTubers who cover Call of Duty talk about when we say that Call of Duty needs to go back to the way it was before, or that it really needs to improve. And then you'll actually start understanding why most people left the series to begin with, because the fun that we used to have in the games earlier within this franchise are nothing like the fun that we have now with current Call of Duties that have been coming out in the past few years. Overall, what do you guys think? Should Modern Warfare 2 Remastered actually happen? And if it does, will you be excited and be looking forward to it, or will you actually be worried because of some of the possible changes they might bring to the game, and that it can cause the game to not feel like the original game that came out back in 2009? If you guys were to ask me this question, I would say definitely go for it, make Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, and even if there are a few changes that are made to the game, not to be rude to Call of Duty World War II or any of the past Call of Duties that have been coming out in the recent years, but Modern Warfare 2 would still end up being the more superior game, and that would be the game that I would be giving most of my hours to and just having a good time like I did back in the day. But I think that's going to be all for this video, you guys. I just basically wanted to start a discussion, or like some talks about what you guys might be feeling when it comes to the idea of Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, and just sort of make a fun video on some of the things that could happen if they did decide to remaster this game. On that note, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. If you guys did enjoy it, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.